Hi, this is Natasha.
And Khalil.
And we are the co-hosts of
WokeNFree.
Thank you for tuning in to our 172nd episode of WokeNFree. If you've been tuning in every week for WokeNFree Wednesday, you know that WokeNFree is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We talk about everything and anything important to us, you, the world, and nothing is off the table. This week, we're talking about something really interesting, which is intuition real? Before we dive deep into the subject, it is your favorite time of the day. We can't deny you, and I can't help myself. So I think I'll begin. Are you excited?
Of course. What else would I be?
Riveted, maybe.
Oh, all right.
Okay, then. Okay.
That's good to know.
Yes.
Maybe next time.
Thank you, Mr. Nurse. Thank you. So we want to make sure that you are not only listening to the episode, but you've gone and downloaded it at WokeNFree.com through the Podbean app. If you have done that, bravo, hugs and kisses. You're amazing. Yay. We love and adore you. Now, if you are like, Tosh, Khalil, we love you. We need you. We want you. Right back at you, booze. But for some reason you cannot download another app, then please just make sure that you are subscribed to the show on whatever platform you're catching this on. So whether that's through iTunes, we get a lot of iTunes support here. TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, our YouTube channel, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify. We're on like 30 different platforms. So if you're like, where you at, Tosh? Go to WokeNFree.com, go to the listen tab, and then you'll see all the different places that you can support the show at. So yay. And now if you are interested in doing more, because I mean, who obviously doesn't want to do more in life? You can definitely share the episode with your friends and family, because sharing is caring, absent COVID-19, racism, bigotry, discrimination, things like that. But sharing WokeNFree is amazing.
Oh, yeah?
It is. It's how we get the world to be in a WokeNFree state of mind. Don't we want that?
Yeah.
Exactly. Try a little bit more emphasis.
I'm very excited for them to know the WokeNFree world. All
right, Mr. Nurse. Yep. Guys, when you love something, you share it. So don't play games. Share it. Share WokeNFree.com. Text it. Go on social media. Share, please. We greatly appreciate your support. And now if you want to have a conversation with us on social media, that's not the only place to have a conversation with us, but if you are interested in hollering on social media, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Yes, you heard it. TikTok. And Pinterest at WokeNFree. So that's just super fun and just more content for you to enjoy. Now, lastly, if you have like 90 seconds in your day, which everyone does, I think that's a really hard bargain to say you don't have 90 seconds. If you do, you can make sticky white rice in the microwave, or brown rice if that's your flavor for the day. And you can also, at the same time, review the show. So if you pick the platform of choice, obviously, if you want to, maybe give 5 stars on iTunes, I don't think any of us would be mad at that. That'd be amazing. Give your reviews on whatever platforms you catch the show on and you can review the show at. And again, reminder, WokeNFree.com, listen tab. That's where you can kind of play around and figure out where you want to do that at. But we would definitely love to hear from you. Get your feedback. Scene end.
That was enjoyable.
Yeah, it sounded, I think you were more excited for my root canal I had last year. But
all right.
Who's counting here?
It's just great to hear you give that spiel. So
again, thank you, Mr. Nurse.
I just have to make that known so the audience knows how I truly feel.
Like a liar. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice.
I also feel that we share a little bit about us before we dive into the topic for the episode.
That happens to be the truth, yes.
All right, it coincides with the truth, so
okay.
That's good to know.
Uh-huh.
And last week we asked, would you rather go to an indoor concert or outdoor concert? Mm-hmm. This week we're asking, would you rather face your worst fear head on or confess your greatest sins online and have it go viral?
Now, finally, that's actually a contemplative question that's, I think, deep and meaningful, because
really?
I think, as opposed to the concert stuff, nonsense.
Oh, I thought that was interesting.
Nonsense.
I mean, that would have been better maybe 2 years ago, but it's still interesting, though.
Wonderful.
So you seemed excited there.
You know what excited sounds like for me.
Oh, all right.
It's when my voice goes really high in the octave.
Yikes.
Yeah. I would say for this question, I really had to kind of think about this right now. And I would go with the answer, which probably may surprise you, I'm not sure, which is I would probably face my worst fear head on, which in my case is something bug related, which is truly terrifying, because you know how I feel about bugs. I think they should be eliminated. I'm sorry for the bug lovers. They just scare me, guys. It's too much. I don't like it. They bite me. I just don't like it. No. Like, I really advocate for bug-free living, but, you know, bug lives matter too, I guess. And so I just have to live with that. But I choose that answer because I think because we live in cancel culture that is just very profound and very deep, and who knows how long this will last. I just think that the problem of like having to confess your greatest sin, not that you should be afraid to share something like that, but for it to go viral could also in turn mean that like people decide to judge you in a way that like creates a cancel stamp on you. And it's like, that's just crazy. And if you want to go viral for something, it probably shouldn't be for something negative and like a mistake you made. Probably should be something that you're proud of and you want to go viral, not like, oh, I like did some horrible deed and this is now viral. Like, I don't know. I don't know if people really intend that. So, but I do think that if you face your worst fear, it might be truly terrifying, but there's personal growth there. And again, that's something that you can feel good about and maybe it'll help you have confidence for some other aspect of your life. And it doesn't involve the whole world weighing in on you.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to agree with you because I don't want to deal with that cancel culture, like you said, because any wrong thing you say,
or do,
you know, or even if it's happened in the past and you're not going to do it again, once that comes out, people, they get this decision about you that they shouldn't listen or follow anything you do, you know, so
you're literally
I wouldn't want to bring that upon me because people are too judgmental. If people were less judgmental, I would just go with that because I wouldn't want to do my worst fears either because my worst fear is torture, so that I don't think I can deal with that.
Oh, so you just say no to the whole deal?
No, I would do it. I'd go with the torture, but it would be really, I would be terrifying.
It would be rough,
yeah. I'd be in literal terror. Cause
maybe you would cry then, huh?
I don't think I'd cry. I think I would scream and pass out. I'd pass out just like the
I can't even torture you to get you to cry. That's terrible.
Well, you can have me pass out, and maybe I might not wake back up. I don't know.
I'm not even responding to that nonsense. That is so
I'm just
negative.
saying, no, but the torture could be really bad. It can have detrimental effects on me and affect me for the rest of my life.
It depends on how you define torture, right? For you, that like you might be thinking like waterboarding and like, but for me,
I'd be okay with the waterboarding,
like,
but
you know, like small pinches up and down your arm or something. Like,
nah, that's not. I'm thinking about torture where you could be like hurt from it, kind of thing.
Like maimed or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that.
Intense.
Yeah, those are my worst. Because I don't fear waterboarding.
Hostile situation happening, right?
Yeah, or Saw even.
Woo!
That would be a fear of mine. I don't want to be in that game.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to hurt yourself to get out.
Nope,
I mean,
nope.
I don't want to do that.
I guess I'm just going to have to not be around. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I'd rather. But that's just telling you. I'd rather be facing off those torture fests than even try to go against the cancel culture.
No, yeah, cancel culture.
I just think it's a little rough with the internet now since everything lives on forever. So.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to take that chance. And I can kind of tell that I wouldn't want to ever do that because I guess I intuit it maybe, but...
Nice transition. You're a mess. You act like we're going from scene to scene in a screenplay. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. I get that feeling that I couldn't, that there's no way I could do that.
Okay.
And, I got to ask you, is that feeling that I get, that intuition, is that intuition real?
You're shameful.
That's the best question to ask right now.
Yes, it is, Mr. Nurse. And my answer is as follows. According to psychologicalscience.org, and again, for anyone new or a continuing fan of WokeNFree, all of our links you'll be able to find them in the episode on WokeNFree.com. So make sure you definitely check on that so you can read more for yourself. They define intuition in the article as the following: the idea that individuals can make successful decisions without deliberate analytical thought has intrigued philosophers and scientists since at least the times of the ancient Greeks. But scientists have had trouble finding quantifiable evidence that intuition actually exists. So What had to happen? Of course, we had to have scientists in the world. There was actually a team of researchers from the University of New South Wales and this article I think is maybe a little bit dated, like 2016-ish. They actually came up with a novel technique at the time, demonstrating just how much unconscious intuition can inform and even improve our decision making. And the team of psychological scientists included Galang, and I apologize if I say anyone's name wrong, Lufa Yanto, Chris Duncan, and Joel Pearson, who published their findings actually in Psychological Science. And they went on to say, many people use the phrase intuition to describe a sensation or feeling they have when making decisions, but these are only descriptions. They don't provide strong evidence that we can use unconscious information in our brain or body to guide our behavior. Specifically, Pearson, one of the researchers in those studies, said, this is the first time we've been able to show strong evidence that something like intuition actually does exist. To measure intuition, the researchers designed an experiment where the participants were exposed to emotional images outside conscious awareness as they attempted to make accurate decisions. The results of the study demonstrated that even when people were unaware of the images, they were still able to use information from the images to make more confident and accurate decisions. The data suggests that, and this is by Pearson, that we can use unconscious information in our body or brain to help guide us through life, to enable better decisions, faster decisions, and be more confident in the decisions we make. And in the article, it goes on to talking about how there were different types of experiments that were used. Across 4 different experiments, Pearson and colleagues found that people were able to make faster, accurate decisions when they unconsciously viewed the emotional images. Essentially, people's brains were able to process and utilize information from the images to improve their decisions. And Pearson added that another interesting finding in the study is that intuition improved over time, suggesting that the mechanisms of intuition can be improved with practice. What else is there to say? And then Pearson also added that the ability to quantitatively measure intuition could be a boon to many different fields, especially when it comes to workplace hiring. This could be applied in the workplace, taking the place of existing questionnaires, which really only test people's opinions about their own feelings of intuition. We do have intuition and we can measure it scientifically. So there's a lot that you can read in the article, but I think from a scientific perspective, the takeaway that I got from this was that it's definitely not completely out of the realm of possibility. I think this is just one study. This is one example. But you know, as a firm believer, I thought it was kind of reaffirming to think that there's people in the science community who's like, yeah, this is actually like a thing.
But it seems like it's not like a magical sort of thing.
Not magically
It's not based
defined.
in magic where
it's more about
it's just unconscious. There's something lying in your brain that you're unaware of. So it's not from some,
it's not
third
a deity
dimensional
or
spiritual. It's not touching upon any of those things.
From a scientific perspective, they can't even speak on that, right? Because you can't test kind of the divinity, right? So
that's up for debate.
Okay.
You can test anything, but to say if your results are accurate, that's the hard point.
Interesting part, yeah.
Right? It's hard to say. And I found an article by Psychology Today, and they describe, another word for intuition, instinct. They talk about a couple of things that people should know. And what they describe it as is instinct is our innate inclination toward a particular behavior as opposed to a learned response. It's a gut feeling or a hunch, a sensation that appears quickly in the consciousness, noticeable enough to be acted on if one chooses to, without us being fully aware of the underlying reasons for its occurrence. Intuition is a process that gives us the ability to know something directly without analytic reasoning, bridging the gap between the conscious and non-conscious parts of our minds, and also between instinct and reason. So they just kind of describe, exactly what intuition is. I guess that's from their point of view. I mean, I don't know. People might describe it as different, but I'm good with those points of views that they put forward.
Okay, well, so if intuition, then we take the premise or kind of go down the path of, okay, this is a real thing. There could be scientific measurements that could speak to this being a real concept and a real application in human lives. One then would say, what are the traits of intuitive people?
I found this perfect episode I found this perfect website for this episode actually called Powered by Intuition. And it asks some questions to actually know if your intuition is more developed than you might think. They had 10 questions, but I'm going to list like the ones I thought were the most interesting. Do you have moments where you feel you're reading another person's mind, but then dismiss it and think it was just a coincidence? Do you have vivid dreams that you remember? Are you attracted to the healing arts? Are you interested in systems of divination, such as tarot, palmistry, or numerology? Do you find that you sense other people's emotions? Do you see your life as filled with meaning and symbolism? Do similar coincidences pop up to guide you as to whether you should do something you have been contemplating?
So, all in summation, are you a seer? I mean,
but look, a lot of these, I think you hit the mark on a lot of these things, though. That's the funny thing. But I am an intuitive person, though, and you know that, though. You're attracted to the healing 100%. Arts. You're interested in the divination stuff.
I don't think I've ever read someone's mind, but I definitely could pick up on other people's emotions, and I definitely believe in
vivid dreams.
Oh, well, there's several reasons for that, but yes. Yeah. That, and then of course life is definitely filled with meaning and symbolism. I mean, I'm not walking around like in that movie number 23 where like everything is like
you don't see the walls covered in numbers.
Yeah, like I'm definitely not losing it like that, but I definitely think there's a reason for everything to happen, and COVID included, guys. It's not happenstance that we're living through this pandemic. There's symbolism behind this. It's a really rough lesson to learn, but nonetheless it was a lesson that needed to be learned. So
you must have highly developed intuition according to this Powered by Intuition website.
Clearly. Amazing.
That's good to know.
Guys, come on. That's why they've come to WokeNFree. They want to be all about that intuition, what that intuition look like.
All right.
Now, I found some content on Sync Tuition.
Oh, we have to pay some money to go to this university? Nice. We got to sync our money together.
According to synctuition.com, there are 5 traits of intuitive people that intuitive people have. And so I'll go over some of them, if not, but all of them, but we'll go one by one. So number 1, they tend to be more empathetic, right? Can you perceive others' feelings? You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Being empathetic has more perks than what you might think. And an intuitive person with high empathetic accuracy will seem appealing to strangers, making them open up and communicate freely. That definitely happens to me. People tell me all sorts of craziness for no apparent reason, but I guess because I'm just intuitive. So yay.
That's the reason.
Now, number 2 is intuitive people listen to their gut feeling. 100% me. I love that. Ultimately, the article goes on to say this sense awakes sporadically without our control, and more often than not, we tend to ignore it. This is what's called gut feeling or inner voice, a trait that highly intuitive people possess. Those who choose to listen to their gut feeling can make important decisions in their everyday lives, such as sealing a business deal, hiring the right employee, choosing the right partner, and much more. I like it. Number 3, take some me time. When was the last time you made a special plan and spent some time to get together with yourself? Can't remember it all. When wishing to follow that right path is guided by the all-knowing sixth sense, intuitive people are aware of their thoughts and words. As a result, they become very self-aware and they zone out and take some me time. 100%. Wow. They, number 4, live in the moment.
You're now listening to WokeNFree.
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 A podcast about keeping it real and honest.
They are not holding on to anger, resentment, other harmful emotions that can impact our mental and physical health. Yet it's impossible to keep all of our emotions enclosed in a box. Many times the key is not to let these feelings take over our minds and our mindfulness. So that makes sense. And then the 5th point was that intuitive people are observant and deep thinkers. So ever heard the phrase more than what meets the eye? This cannot be more meaningful for intuitive people.
Yeah, Transformers.
Yes.
More than meets the eyes. Transformers.
Well, you're showing your age a little bit, but okay.
Oh, really? That seemed like something that the kiddos do.
The kiddos, another version. Well, yeah, you're really good at bringing back that old school language.
Is that what that is?
The 1869 dictionary. Term of art. Oh,
all right, so the wavies. I don't know what you call them.
Oh, wowzers.
I don't know what you call them then. What are you supposed to call them if you're using the language of the day?
You're losing control. That's all I know.
You're not telling me the language of the day to call
I'm not a
children.
child, so I can't.
Oh, okay.
But maybe one of our listeners who has kiddos themselves
all right.
can share and tell us what the language of the day is.
Okay.
Even that phrasing, I don't even know if they would know what that means. Like,
really?
Oh my gosh. Be like, are you talking about what they talk about on... I don't even want to say the wrong thing.
Don't say it.
Say something wildly inappropriate.
Maybe not.
But
the lingo you were thinking?
Oh lordy, no, the platform. Like, is it?
Oh, the platform?
I was gonna say
Urban Dictionary.
Wowzers!
That tells you what stuff means.
There we go. That might be a good one. But I was going for I want to say Switch or Twitch or something. What's it called?
Why would people use Twitch for that? Anybody's on Twitch.
Oh, it's not just for children.
No, of course not.
Okay.
It's for any age. It's mostly for gamers, but people use it for other stuff too. So it's
interesting. Okay. Yeah. Out of the loop there. But a hyper sense of observation means that an intuitive person can easily access the information they need when it comes to making a decision. With this ability, they are confident that they have processed all the data or intelligence available. So I definitely personally...
That seems weird to me, the deep thinking part, because that seems to go against intuition. It's supposed to be like from your unconscious.
No, but they're suggesting that they are
me.
deep thinkers. You know how like people who are they're more than surface level thinkers. Like they're thinking about the broader things of life and like the deeper meaning of life. I don't think they're saying
they're not making logical decisions
based on an overthinking approach. No, like they're going to go with their gut feeling and whatever intellectual deductions that can be made and just go with it, but they are deep thinkers. Like they're people who feel connected.
They might be
to
in
the
thought.
universe,
They'll be in thought, but not about like facts, I guess. They're just about things that they see and feel.
Yeah, I mean both. I don't think an intuitive person is not factual or doesn't think about facts. I just think that they're able to make decisions above and beyond facts. Where some people, they can only make decisions based on what's in front of them. Intuitive people, I think, can go beyond it and kind of figure out what they think the universe is leading them to make a decision for, and they just go with it. So they kind of a bit, I think, more riskier, but I think that if their intuition is leading them right, then it plays out okay in the end.
All right. Well, how has intuition impacted your life?
Wow, yeah. So for me, as you can tell, guys, I personally believe I'm a very intuitive person. I think that some of those 5 traits, I think I have all of 5 traits, to be honest. So
yikes.
That's, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're married to me. What do you think?
That's harder for someone deciding on the outside if you
after
really
16 years, you can't think I'm an intuitive person or not. You need longer to assess that.
No, I might say you're a deep thinker instead.
Oh, that's about it. Oh, okay.
that's the trait I see.
Trifling.
I see that trait.
Trifling AF.
Oh, really?
Yes. But okay. You don't think my intuition has been right over the years at all?
I don't call it intuition. I think you've used science-based things. Yeah, that's what I think. That's just my gut feeling. I mean, sometimes you take guesses, but I don't know. It's on the outside. It doesn't seem like that.
My number choices, how I'm good with like choosing numbers and stuff. I feel like that's my intuition.
That. Well,
that tells me,
that.
Like, oh, it's 400. It's like, oh, it's
you could guess somebody's age. Yeah. Like you're good with that. That's definitely something where it's not. I don't know what it's based on, but somehow you know how to guess that.
Exactly, and that's like I don't have any conceived information. I just
you could know how to look at somebody. You guess their age and you make them sad.
Or their foot size. I'm like, oh, you're a 5.5. They're like, whoa.
Oh, really? You do that too?
Yeah, I've done foot sizes too. Yeah.
Well, I just know you were good with the ages, though. That's always you're pretty dead on usually.
I haven't done that in a while, so I don't know if I'm rusty. But yes, I do remember that I was good at that. But to answer the question, how has intuition helped impacted my life? I would say overall improved it. I think for me, it makes me feel like a more confident person, kind of speaking to some of the article content I shared earlier. Definitely, I feel more comfortable with uncertainty. Not like fully. I think human beings, that's just a tenet of life that we all struggle with, like the unknown and like how do you get to be comfortable with the unknown? It's something that I think is a little bit easier for people who are intuitive because you can get past that uncomfortability and just say, well, what do I want the future to be? And you can just kind of point and direct your feelings and your decisions to that and kind of overpass the space of, well, I don't know what the future is. Cool. But what do I want it to be? And so I can just be more decisive even when there is no decisiveness to be had. Also, I would say being intuitive has helped me not necessarily need to seek out affirmation or confirmation from others as much. I do it from you or like people in my network, but generally sometimes people seem to need like the world to affirm them. And I feel very sad for people who are in that boat because, you know, depending on who you are, the world can be very mean to you. So it seems like it's sad if you can't see the value of who you are unless a million people see it, because then, you know, that's where I think people get into situations where they're taking their lives or they're harming themselves because they crave this need that is unfortunately might not be satisfied because people in the world are very fickle. So That's scary. Another thing is it makes me excited about the future because, again, I jump past the point of uncomfortability to what I want the future to be and what do I want to be doing. So, and I just follow my intuition and hopefully it turns out to be correct and I get what I want. And then happier with my life decisions. You can't live with regret. It's like living with poison and toxicity. And so I think that being able to just go with my gut and just accept whatever my gut is, regardless of how the outcome ends, has made me happier with my life decisions, and then also easier to live without regret. So those are the things that have come to mind with me when it comes to why intuition is good and how it's impacted my life.
Those are some big things there.
Profound, right? I know. Yeah. Thank you. I am a profound person. Thanks.
That makes sense.
I told you I'm intuitive, but you try to play somebody on air.
No, it wasn't.
Trying to comfort people.
That wasn't me. It was just an observation. You didn't tell me to intuit if you have been impacted by intuition. Then I could have used that ability to tell you the truth.
Shameful.
I could have came up with a more exceptional answer.
And your answer case.
Is? Mine is, it's hard to say because I give it all to the universe.
Hey.
So if I get a feeling or notice signs, I follow it. Mm-hmm. But let me think of the things that probably helped. Mm-hmm. I think it's probably helped me with avoiding bad situations in the past. Mm-hmm. It's helped me pass very difficult exams. It's helped me decide if I should buy certain things. Mm-hmm. So it can help with the stock market. I'll say that. Mm-hmm. And then it's helped me make high risky bets.
In Vegas.
Yeah. So mine are very specific. So in my case, I'm giving you very specific examples of how intuition has impacted my life.
How wonderful and brilliant for you.
No, I'm just saying. It's just in juxtaposed to what we've seen previously.
And mine was lofty and unattainable?
No, yours is very profound and you had to think very deep for that.
Yeah,
mine was
Tasha, aka
surface
Moses.
level.
I mean, come to the promised land. What it look like?
My intuition doesn't run. It doesn't run like that. It just runs into certain situations that I can point out.
How very practical and pointed for you. Excellent.
That's just how. That's the only way I could think about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? It's scenario time, guys. Scenario 1. Muammar purchased and read books about people who are intuitive. He also took intuition development courses. Does Muammar have higher intuition than others since he is exploring intuition in such depth?
What an interesting question. Similar to if I read about doctors, am I a doctor?
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, how insulting. Okay.
You may think that, but a website I've mentioned has asked this question.
Oh, okay. So I would say, I'm sorry, can you pronounce the
Muammar.
Muammar. So I would say, I think it's good when people look into genres or spaces that they may not know more about. It seems like he has an interest in intuition and intuitive people. So I want to say yay for him on doing that. Most people just don't know about something, then they just leave it alone. At least he's taking the initiative to learn more. Unfortunately, I don't think doing like your own self-study on something in turn automatically makes you that thing. So I think, could he be an intuitive person looking into intuition? Yes, that is a possible thing. I don't think looking into intuition makes him in turn more intuitive. I think it makes him have a deeper understanding of the concept. Now, if he was already intuitive, could it help him deepen that skill set and ability for himself? Yes, it could, depending on what he's reading and how it's impacting him. But in and of itself, just reading something doesn't make you that thing. So, even
if he's paid hundreds of dollars for books and courses, that still doesn't mean he's more intuitive.
So he then has the knowledge and or maybe certification in the knowledge of it. But but it doesn't in turn automatically mean he's a more intuitive person. I think the practice, I think intuition is kind of like something you have to flex like a muscle. So he would have to be doing things in his life. So if you had said he went on to read those books and then he intuited 9 out of 10 things that were going to happen and he predicted them and they were all correct, then I would say, okay, maybe, right? Like it seems like he's flexing that ability and it seems like it's paying off and he's getting yeses more than nos or rights more than wrongs. But just reading a bunch of stuff and paying money on things, no, not in and of itself. But that's just my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, in my opinion, he's not more intuitive than others. He just threw out money is what my opinion would be.
Don't say he threw out money. He looked into the space.
Okay.
Let's have a positive outlook.
All right. I mean, he could have given the money to charity, though, as well.
He could have given the money to help charitable, intuitive people.
See, no, I do not suggest that. I would not suggest that. No, please don't. Because there's probably people asking for that money as well, but don't, no. I just think he wasted money, to be honest. Because that to me is crazy.
Is knowledge not always meaningful?
Yeah, but in terms of intuition, this is supposed to be subconscious stuff. So I don't see how researching it's going to help it when it's subconscious.
It feels like you just got the law of attraction. The law of attraction is subconscious and conscious work.
No, I think
you still can learn about it, though.
You can actively work on the law of attraction.
But you have to learn about it.
Yeah,
and
that makes sense.
Books,
but if something's unconscious, I don't see how reading about it's going to help your unconscious.
But what if
maybe I'm wrong, though.
It helps you understand more about what's happening unconsciously. You're not curious to understand, like your dreams, right? You don't have to look into your dreams, but if you wanted to understand your dreams and interpret them, you're going to pay some money. You're going to, or at least go to the library, something.
I don't know. He could have just went to Google and got the same information.
Okay.
Scenario 2. Denise can predict things like when cats are nearby, perched on fences. She can tell what the person in front of her is about to order off the menu. She thinks she can solve the mystery of the Zodiac Killer, and she can fight foes without even thinking about it. Does Denise possess Ultra Instinct, otherwise known as special powers of intuition?
So, wind back a little bit. So
okay.
She can fight foes even without thinking about it. Is this imaginary people that are chasing her?
No, if she's ever involved in. So in most fights, people think when they're throwing the punches.
Yeah.
But what if your brain is not inactive and you're just your body's just responding on its own? It's acting in accordance.
Control.
It's
she's having an attack.
No, she's mastered the Ultra Instinct ability.
You've lost control.
No, Denise has mastered Ultra Instinct. I mean, it's the question, actually, because how is she able to fight without even thinking?
My mind is going different.
How's she able to fight?
This one.
And she doesn't have to think about throwing the first fist.
To me, it just sounds
she can
like
engage
you're
in
saying she's
fisticuffs.
having a mental health crisis. That's what it sounds like to me.
No.
And so I'm just going to leave that bit of it alone.
You can leave it alone, but it's still a thing.
And what's the value of knowing when cats are going to be on fences? What's the value there?
But that's intuition. How did she know that? How did she know that cat was
jump
there every
on
time?
Fences?
Yeah, but I can ask you right now, is a cat perched out on that fence? And if you guessed and the cat was there, that's intuition.
How's that useful information, though?
Is intuition always useful? Let's be honest.
Ooh, that's another episode. That's another
Really?
episode.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it has to be.
To me, in that space, that seems ineffective or in like futile information. But
it's still intuition, because how'd you know
I
it?
don't view intuition as non-useful or futile.
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, yeah, we didn't talk about usefulness.
I would say, yeah, I mean, I talked about the impact, right? And so,
you've had impact, but you didn't say that it like intuition can't have impact and just be just something that happens.
Speak on that. Yeah, it doesn't always have to be impactful, but then it to me just seems worthless.
Because you might guess that there's a quarter cup of orange juice left in the refrigerator.
But that's like also saying like I can look at you and be like, I think you're gonna fart 10 times today. Like I mean,
but if you do that and you do it 50 times and you're correct, then you have intuition.
Or you have a gas problem.
See, that's why people don't believe in intuition, because of what you just said. Because of that, you just say you have a problem, sir.
You need to eat more raisins.
See, that's what you can't guess that.
Oh God!
You can't guess that so accurately.
Oh God, help me!
You know that.
Jesus! I would say, I don't know if I would define it as ultra instinct. I would say she definitely seems to display the powers of intuition. I think it sounds like most of her intuition is useless. So,
like solving the murderer in the Zodiac killing.
I mean, I don't even believe you when you say it that way. Like, it just seems like
this is Denise, though.
Games,
it's not about me. This is Denise's
so that
abilities.
would be maybe the only useful thing there. But
even the fighting's not useful. That seems really
to me,
great.
That sounds really crazy to me. What you're saying, it's like you're walking and she's somehow like what's that? What was that? Daredevil? Like she can turn around and just be like, "What?"
Yeah, it's almost like that. Yeah, like so. Let's say somebody comes with her with a karate
and what
chop.
if someone's just coming to give her a
chop.
cup of coffee and she like hits him in the
no,
throat?
but then she obviously doesn't have the instinct. She has a problem.
You're just assaulting people left and right.
Then she just has a problem.
Freaking
if she's a flailing fool, then that's something else to talk about. Like that's
I wouldn't
else.
use that terminology, but
no, but if she's just flailing at people who are trying to greet her,
stop the lovely.
That's not a foe.
Okay, she's intuitive. What's your answer? Gosh.
Because you're being so messed up. I said specifically foes. I didn't say random people on the street are getting
foes.
hit.
What is this? 1852? I'm so
Somebody you're engaged in fisticuffs with.
Oh my god. You lost control. You're not even taking your life seriously at all, Khalil.
It's a true statement, though.
Ridiculous.
It's for intuition. You know, this would be helpful.
Oh, God. I can't laugh. Please just answer the question.
All right. Gosh. I mean, I'd make the judgment based off of the thing about ordering. You know, when people are in front of you and they're about to order and you can guess what their menu item is every time. I don't know. That seems like intuition.
Yeah, real helpful. Mm-hmm.
Because then you know
my
that.
dad would say, pick the lotto numbers then. You want to freaking do something in life.
I mean, to me though, that can't be coincidence that you always know what they're gonna get, unless you go to like In-N-Out because there's only a couple choices.
Yeah.
So if you only have a couple menu choices, then maybe it's easy. I'm trying to like reason this out. Is she really intuitive? I mean, if the fighting thing is real, then I have to give it to her. She has ultra instinct. I judge it all off of that.
And is this happening once every decade?
So I would have to agree.
Or does she have constant foes coming for her?
Once a decade?
Yeah.
She might be an MMA fighter. We don't know. Those are a foe too.
Trifling.
While you're in the octagon ring, then it's time to throw it down.
I don't even understand you sometimes.
She might have beef. We don't know.
I can't. Now she's gangster? Like, I can't with you.
I'm just saying.
Denise, I can't with you.
I'm saying, if I heard all these things and if all these things were true, I would have to give it to her. I mean,
I hope you meet this Denise person so she can chop you.
And I like the cats. I like knowing that the cats are out on, because that's crazy. How do you know that? That just seems weird. And you get it right every time without getting it wrong. If she got it wrong once, then I'd say no intuition.
I'd be more interested if she can guess when people need a fart.
See, that's wrong. You put a value on what you're intuiting. That's what you're saying.
Like I
don't put a value on it.
Put what those lotto numbers look like.
Exactly. So that's why a lot of people won't believe in intuition because of that. They'll only believe the lotto winner. So like you're definitely intuitive. Now, can we share then that gold that you got?
Exactly.
Scenario 3. Pom lives life on the go. She is always making swift decisions without really thinking things over. Pom has sometimes been referred to as an A-type personality. Do you think Pom is making up her intuition and avoiding making tough, logical decisions?
Who are you basing this off of?
Pom?
Yes.
Pom is Pom.
Very interesting tidbits of information about Pom.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to develop the scenario so you can have a more excelente answer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Pom seems decisive. Pom seems very confident. Pom seems determined. Now, Pom also seems to be living life on kind of a fast pace. Doesn't have time for nilly-willy and nonsense. And so now, with all of those things in mind, is Pom intuitive? Is making up her intuition and avoiding tough decisions? Oh, interesting. No, this is a hard one. I would say I need more information, to be honest. I would need an example of Pom making a decision and like understanding the outcome a bit more to be able to really speak to Pom's intuition. I don't know if that's enough information. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts based off the information is she's just making it up and not, she just doesn't want to get bogged down with the time that it would take to make these logical decisions because she just wants to get stuff done. She's always on the go. So I don't really, I don't think she's using intuition. I think she's just thinking whatever comes to mind and not really like feeling things out, to be honest. That's what this situation sounds like.
So Palm is a walking computer.
No. I mean, a broken computer then.
Oh.
Does not compute and just get random answers. Okay. It's like that computer that you have to bang and hope that you get the internet working again. It's like that.
So an old school tablet.
Nice. Maybe, yeah. I mean, because I don't know. That doesn't seem intuitive to me. To not really think things over and be so swift.
You could just say that.
I don't think intuition is like swift necessarily in nature.
Well, I think it depends on how you define swift, right? And is it that it's just swift, or is it that Palm innately feels like I should like right or left, and it's like right as opposed to lingering and meandering, and it's like, does using your intuition have a certain time frame it takes? Not necessarily. You could be fastly intuitive, or you can be more thoughtful intuitive. I think you could argue both sides, but well.
All right, difference of opinions. Noise.
What's new here? Because pretty much we are at that time again. Thank Jesus. It is coming to the end of our 172nd episode of WokeNFree. Good, sweet, neat G's.
Sweet deep?
Sweet G's.
Oh.
This was quite the episode discussing whether intuition is real. Will we leave you hanging for what our next episode will be about? Drum roll, please.
On our next episode, we'll be discussing if life began in Africa. Make sure you follow us on social media to follow along in the conversation, and make sure you tune in next week for WokeNFree Wednesday to join the conversation at WokeNFree.com.
You do not want to miss this conversation, guys. Make sure you join us every Wednesday for WokeNFree Wednesday. Now, if you want to be a guest, holler at us. 2021 would be the time frame to think about for that. And of course, if you are like, yes, where do I go? Go to our contact us page at WokeNFree.com. That is WokeNFree.com. Do not hit us up on a message for that or an email. Literally submit through the page so that we can have your full submission and understand what your story is and why you want to be a guest. Now, when it comes to hitting us up on social media, always feel free to find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, TikTok at WokeNFree. That's a fun way to consume our content and also engage with us about other things, as well as if you're interested in sponsorships or collaborations, same page, contact us page at WokeNFree.com. That is WokeNFree.com.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do. Share the episode and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for WokeNFree Wednesdays. Remember, WokeNFree is more than a podcast. It is a way of life. Until next time.
I intuit that you'll be back soon.